Good afternoon, everyone. This is the first time I'm getting a chance to speak in Manipur. Although every month I get invitations around the country to speak. Last month I was invited by Tata Steel Company to speak in Jamshedpur. Then I was in Goa. Then this week we have a program in Pune and Chennai, but I'm cancelling those programs to be here because this is the first time I'm getting a chance to speak in Imphal. I have been advised to make my speech very inspiring. I don't know how I'm going to make it inspiring, but I can assure you that I have lived so many lives and I have so many very interesting stories to tell. I have been a very good student. I have been a broken heart Romeo. I have been a failed student. I have been a spiritualist. I have lived hungry, almost literally without any money. I have cried. And I've also lived life like a millionaire, sleeping in some of the best hotels and enjoying the best of exotic food and living a life in luxury. And as our anchor has introduced me before, I have been a television producer. I write screenplays, articles, I produce music, and I also make films. Though none of my films has been shown in Imphal, but you can get it in DVD stores across the country and online shopping sites. I would like to share a little bit of my background from where I have come from, where I was and where I have been today. I have been a very quiet and very shy human being. Most of the time I was inside my room, in my house, listening to some music, reading some books. I used to collect pictures of famous personalities, talented people, creative people, artistic people, cut out their photographs and used to stick them in my scrapbook. I actually have lots of scrapbooks and I used to store them in my box. And whenever I feel lonely, I used to take them out and used to get inspiration from all those amazing people, talented people from around the world. I was so shy that whenever I need to buy something from the market, I'll wait until it is dark. When it is dark, I'll go out in the market because I cannot face anyone. Whenever any guests come to my house or visit my house, I'll either rush to the bathroom or to the kitchen to hide. And when they have left the house, I'll come out. I was that very shy, very introverted kind of a person. But I knew that spiritually I was very strong because most of my writings, I used to write a lot, was very spiritual, very positive. I used to tell myself, I used to write that one day I have to be a very positive person, very confident person, very hardworking person, that the whole world will admire, and that one day I'll do something great. But I've always been, but it was just inside me. I was very quiet, very shy. Then I had my first crush when I was in class 5. It was with my class teacher. So I was so shy to face her that whenever she gave me a homework, I would never show her the homework because I was so shy because of the crush on her. Then later on in school, I had a heavy crush when I was in standard 11. It was, I think, a major infatuation, I think. I went into depression. I've always been a bright student. I've always scored 80–90% in the exams. I used to be the best of 3 in all my school. And then even in 11, I was scoring almost 80–90%. Then I had my first heavy infatuation in class 11. I went into big depression. And another major part of the depression was that I was so shy, I was so introverted, I could never say a word to her or even speak to her. And there was killing inside me. I could never even face her. If she's coming from that direction, I'll walk the another direction. I was that shy. And that depression, that lack of confidence in me to talk to that girl I like or love was killing me. And the bright student who used to score 80–90%, that's flunked twice in class 12. And my parents were totally lost. They were thinking, what is happening with our kid? Then finally, after trying 2 times, I passed out. But during those times, during those depressive times, I was reading lots of books on personality development and spirituality. I was reading books on Osho. I was reading lots of books on Christianity. I was reading books like The Power of Positive Thinking. I was reading books how to win friends and influence people. And I was also praying a lot. Praying is not about being religious. Praying is just telling your subconscious mind that you have to be what you want to be. It's not being religious. I used to pray a lot. Sometimes I used to wake up in the middle of the night and cry and pray. But still my depression was still continuing. Then I moved on to Shillong for graduation. And I was staying in a Catholic hostel, and every morning we used to have mass, prayer in the chapel. And even in the college, it was all surrounded by all these pretty girls coming from all over the northeast states in different parts of India, and I was getting into so many crushes again because being very young and very creative, and so I think I was more romantic than the other guys. So I was having crushes on my juniors, I was having crushes on my seniors. And whenever I have a heavy crush, I'll go and talk to the hostel warden, who is a father, Catholic father, and I say, "Father, I'm having this crush, I cannot focus on my study, what should I do?" Then he said, "Okay," and he'll give me advice, and he'll pray for me. And whenever I have any crush, it has become a habit for me that I'll go to the chapel and pray. Maybe in the evening, in the afternoon, in the morning. Like, prayer became a very habitual activity for me. As I said, but I was not doing very religiously. It was like just feeding my subconscious mind that you have to be very positive, you have to be very confident. But that process was also giving lots of energy in me. Like in college, whenever there was anything happening in the college, in the department, in the hostel, in Shillong, I was running around doing something, singing, dancing, giving speeches, doing photography. I was very active. I was doing lots of dramas for All India Radio Shillong. They asked me to do drama for them. I was being paid. I think they used to pay me 1,500 for a script, which was a lot of money for a college student. They asked me to do quiz shows. I was very active, and most of the time I was running. And after graduation, my father said, "Okay, your graduation is not enough." He said, you have to do your masters. You have to go for further studies. Whatever you want to do, you do it, but you do your masters. But I said, I was so overconfident because of all my prayers and positive thinking. I was so overconfident. I told my father, "Father, graduation is enough for me. I'm not going to be a teacher or a professor, or I'm not going to be an educationist. I'm going to do something which is very practical, and studying more, it's not going to help me in any way." So I said, my graduation is enough. So I moved on to Delhi to find work. And since the kind of work I was looking for work in television, I was looking for a break in television. And at that time, there was nobody around me to guide me, to inspire me. So it was like all by myself. So I used to Google, searching for some production houses. I used to find books where I can get addresses of these production houses. And with my CV, I was literally every day traveling all over Delhi, trying to find work. But Delhi is such that even to get inside the production house, it's not, you cannot do it unless you know someone inside. Every production house, every office, every company in Delhi or Bombay will have a security guard in the gate. They'll never allow you to go inside. So literally most of the time I used to leave my CV with a security guard, then come out, then sometimes I'll make some phone call, then I'll say, "Okay, I have talked to you on the phone," then I'll go inside and leave my CV, but nothing was happening for 2-3 months. It was like, and Delhi is so humid, so hot, and I was new to that big city. I was like literally dehydrated, and nothing was happening. Then one day, suddenly, I went to somebody's house. I met an old woman and said, "I'm looking for work, and this is my CV." And she said, "Okay, I'm not running the company. My daughter-in-law is running the company. I'll talk to her. You go to her office tomorrow." Then I went. Next day, I went to and met the office, and the director of the company said, "Okay, my mother-in-law has told me about you. You came to my house yesterday and said, okay, we'll give you 2 months of internship. After that, we'll put you, depending on your on your credibility or on your how good you are. So I got my first job in a production house in Delhi, and the first time I was taken, I was literally shocked because I was doing fashion shows for FTV, France, and I was covering all the fashion shows of India to share to fashion TV in France, and I was shocked. It was like a dream because when I was growing up in my hometown, I used to do lots of cuttings of these talented fashion designers. I was not inspired, not by the glamour, but by their creativity, by their thought process, how they live, how they think about their artwork. And I used to do cuttings of these famous fashion designers in my scrapbook. And suddenly I'm seeing in front of all these people, all these designers whom I have been doing cuttings in my scrapbook. I used to see Rohit Bal and Ritu Kumar right in front of me, and we are covering this fashion show, and we are partying with them in the evening. And I was like, oh God, I was never interested in fashion, but why I am here? Then when I reflect back, and when I reflect to all the books, I realized that if you want something badly, or if you are strongly attracted to something, that it pulls you in. So I think that attraction, that law of attraction, that strong law of attraction that I had to all these creative people, artistic people, all these designers, I think that has pulled me to this fashion industry and making me exposed to all these fashion designers and models and artists. And and after some time in fashion, and I was also doing travel shows for a Singapore channel, traveling to some of the most exotic places in the country and staying in some of the best hotels, I realized that I'm not made for this. I'm not made for glamour. There's some inner calling was there. I need to express myself. My artistic calling was, slowly, trying to find wings to spread out. Even though I was, living some of the most glamorous or luxurious life, staying or sleeping in a 7-star hotel, enjoying the best of food and hanging out with all these designers and models. Like, I was not happy with that. I said, I have to do something creative, which is an expression of your innermost feelings or of your ideas. So I left the job. Then after that, I started my struggle again. I was so disillusioned what to do. Because I wanted to make films. At the same time, I was not very clear on what to do because I had no guidance, no mentor, and whatever graduation stuff whatever I studied in graduation was not about filmmaking. It was mostly about video production and television program production and script writing and all that. So I was very disillusioned. Then I started looking for filmmakers again to assist. I roam all over Delhi looking for visiting ad filmmakers and feature filmmakers and documentary filmmakers. I was literally moving around, but nothing was happening. Then I started doing some odd jobs here and there, some freelance work, assisting someone in some editing, some camera work. Then I did some more television production work for some TV channels, which I literally left after some time because my mind was somewhere. I was doing something, but my mind and my heart was always somewhere. So, in 2005, I think I decided to make a feature film. It was a Manipuri feature film. So for about 1 year, I stayed in my room. I slept and lived like a rat. I never go out of my house, go out of my apartment in Delhi, and I was literally writing the script. Then I also came back home and I also made the music for the film. Then when I was making the film, I realized that I need lots of money to make the film. But I was this very timid boy, very self-respecting guy who could never ask, a big amount of money from parents. When I was in graduation in Shillong, I wanted to wear a coat, but I could never ask my parents, though both of them are working, I could never ask them to stitch a cloth for me. So I bought a second-hand cloth to do all the shows in Shillong or in the college. I was that kind of a self-respecting guy, so I could never ask my parents. Then I came back to Delhi again, and I started thinking what to do. Then in Delhi, I recorded another music album again in Hindi. And with that tracks, I went to Bombay. And when I was in Delhi, I was also writing more scripts, more screenplays. I didn't went to a film school for writing scripts. I used to Xerox books from library. I used to read all the books on script writing. And I used to read the script writing book, and I used to write. That's how I pick up my script writing skills. And with one script, with that script and with two scripts, I think I went to Bombay with my music CD in Hindi, which I recorded with some struggling singers in Delhi. And I was visiting to all the music companies of Bombay. I went to T-Series, I went to Sony company, I went to Universal, I went to Crescendo. I met a lot of people, and everyone said, all your singers are struggling, who's going to buy it? And music making is easy, but what is more difficult is marketing, because it is in marketing that all the money goes, so we cannot do anything. So I was very depressed. And I knew that nothing is going to work out with this music CD. And after that, I started pitching my script again. I started approaching all the production houses. I started, one good thing about Bombay industry is that they have got a book where it's kind of yellow page book where you get addresses and phone numbers of all the people in the film industry, whether it's a director, producer, actor. You get phone numbers of everyone, and addresses of all the people in the industry. So I used to call them up, and they say, okay, send over your script, and I'll send them, okay, and they said, okay, we'll call you back, and I'll be there for 3 months, I'll make more phone calls, then I'll visit more production houses, and everyone said, we'll call you back, but nothing was happening. Like for, I think, 11 months, I was literally, into big depression, and I was like, it was like the 0 point of my life. And Mumbai is so expensive. Every month you have to pay your rent, and rent is so expensive. And the moment you go out of the house, at least 500 to 1,000 rupees will go out from your pocket. It's so expensive. And I was also feeling shy every month to ask money from my parents. Sometimes I was literally crying. I was not knowing what to do. Then one day I was just Googling, and I came across this very big festival in Sweden, international festival, Gothenburg International Film Festival, where they give money for making films. There are lots of international film festivals and organizations which gives money for making film. The way these festivals work is they give money on 3 different phases. They give you money for development support, they give you money for production, they give you money for post-production. They also give you money for distribution. So they have all kinds of funding system for your films. So I sent one of my script called Little Lama. Little Lama is about the confused identity of a little monk, and he wants to go out the monastery and experience the outside world, but he is trapped in his spirituality. It was also inspired by my own life when I was in Shillong. Like whenever I had a crush on a girl, I used to go and pray. I thought, okay, it's a temptation, like the Bible says. I was all wrong. I was all still going through my quest for spiritual identity. If you are having having a crush on a girl or infatuation, it's temptation, it's sin, it's bad. I was going through so much conflict in my mind. So Little Lama was inspired by that, my personal life, about that conflict between this love and crush and infatuation and temptation and all these religious philosophies. So I sent the script to Sweden. I registered my script with Mumbai Film Writers Association, which protect the copyright of your film. So then I sent my script to Gothenburg. And after 2 months, I got an email from the director that, okay, your script has been selected, and we are going to give you development support for your film, and we're going to send money very soon in your account. And I was very shocked. And I sent an email. I don't have any filmmaking experience. I just came out from television. How did I get through? Because there are about 100 entries from around the world, and only 6 were selected. And they said, we like your story, that's why we are selecting you. So after, I think about 2 weeks, they put money in my account. Then with that money, I came back to Manipur, and I said, okay, now I'm going to make my Manipuri film. This feature film called Koken. Then I came back to Manipur, I think in 2008, and I started making my feature film. Then after I completed about 70% of my production, I started editing. Then when I was sitting in the editing table, I realized that, okay, my film is not up to the mark. I can never compete with this film with all the international filmmakers. None of the international film festivals are going to accept me. None of the international distributors are going to take this film. I said, this film is not good enough because I never experienced in filmmaking. I just came out from television. Whatever I have learned was from Google and reading books and watching a lot of films every week and attending lots of film festivals in Delhi and Bombay. So I said, even though I spent lots of money and I've completed 70% of my film, I said, no, this film is not good enough for international market. Because I was never thinking about the local theater or the local market. My aim was to take my films around the world. To every festival around the world, I was planning to take my film. To visit every countries of the world, show my film, and visit the festival and interact with all the international filmmakers and artistic people. So I said, this film is not good enough. But all my friends who were involved in the film said, your film is very good enough, you should release it in the local market, everyone is going to watch it. Because it's a very funny film and it's also a very dark film with all kinds of characters. There is a hero who is a drug addict, there is a prostitute, and there is a woman who is after money. He never cares, she never cares whether the boy is good or bad. If the boy is rich, then it's okay for her. It's kind of all very dark, grey characters, but told in very hilarious ways, and it's very funny film. All my friends said, Doren, you have to release your film here. It's going to be a hit. It's very funny. But I said, no. My film is not good enough for international market. I have to take it to festivals around the world, and this is not good enough. So I left the film. After I left the film, I think I went back to Delhi again, I think. And I was there in Delhi for some time again. Then I think I was writing more script. Then after, I think, and I also did lots of other work like doing camera work for other people's films, which gives good money. Then one day I met, I was in Delhi for some time. Then I came back to Imphal again, looking for more inspiration, more resources. Then I have been hoping to make a film with this Tangkhul singer Ruben Masangba, who I have never met, but I have listened to his music when I was still in college, and I always thought that, okay, one day I'll do some project with this guy. So I met Ruben after 6 years. All those 6 years, I was still working on something to do with Ruben. I was writing some scripts, writing some concepts, and I thought one day I'll meet this guy and do something. And after, I think 6 or 8 years, I met this guy, Ruben, in the studio, and I said, Ruben, since my college days, I have been planning to do something with you. I want to make a film with you. Then okay, he said, okay. Then I said, let's meet very often so that I want to know more about your life so that I can write a script. Because I was not thinking about documentary. I was still writing more scripts for my feature film, and I was planning to make a feature film with Ruben. Then after 2 weeks, Ruben called me again, and I said, Doren, there's somebody who wants to, there's the Ministry of Culture, they're asking me to call a director to make a film on me. And I said, wow. I said, for 8 years, I have been dreaming to make a film, to do some project with this guy. And now somebody's offering money also to make the film. And then I started recalling that book again, that law of attraction, that whatever you want, whatever you wish, if you want it very badly enough, it comes to you. You don't have to run after it, but if you want something badly enough, then it comes to you. This law of attraction was happening again to my life. For 8 years, I was planning to do some project with Ruben. Then there suddenly, after 8 years, somebody is offering money to make a film on Ruben. So for 2 years, I followed him all over the country. I followed him to Rajasthan, to Delhi, Calcutta, Shillong, everywhere, to all the villages of Nagaland and Manipur. Then I made a film. And the film, it took me 2 years to make the film. Then the film started traveling to film festivals. Started getting invitations to lots of festivals around the world. And when I was growing up, as I said, I used to have this lots of scrapbook where I used to have paper cuttings of all these amazing people from around the world, and all the artistic people, and all the talented people. And I never thought in my life, I never dreamed that, okay, one day I'll be traveling to this country, that country, I'll be meeting these amazing people, eating this exotic food. I never dreamed of that. I was just collecting all those scrapbooks, pictures of all these amazing people from around the world. And suddenly my film was taking me to all these places. They're sending me the flight tickets. I just had to arrange the visa. They're sending me the flight tickets. In the airport, one beautiful girl waiting for me with my name, Oinam Doren, in an AC car or an SUV. They'll take me to a 5-star hotel or a 7-star hotel. They'll put me there for 5-6 days. Expose me to some of the best filmmakers from around the world. Expose me to some of the most luxurious lifestyle I've ever imagined in my life, exotic food. It was like, okay, so all the paper cuttings that I used to do when I was a kid, all those amazing stuff, pictures, personalities, now suddenly that law of attraction started working again. I used to tell myself. So suddenly my film was taking me to all these places which I never thought that one day I'll experience. So that's the incredible part of filmmaking. Though in Manipur, nobody takes a filmmaker seriously. Everyone runs after government job. None of a girl's father will never like to give their daughter to a filmmaker. Many a times, my father's parents, my father will say, my friend daughter is looking for a groom. Shall we talk to you about your brother? And my sister will say, no one will like him. He's a filmmaker. He doesn't have a government job. That's the kind of thing. Everyone is ready to spend 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs to bribe somebody to get a government job, but nobody's interested in filmmaking, or being a singer, or being a painter or an artist. Nobody will tell their kid, okay, when you grow up, you become a filmmaker, or you become a singer, or you become an actor. When I was growing up, I was surrounded by doctors. So in school, we used to have this, what is that? In school, we used to pass on this book where we can write your name and address and your hobbies. Huh? What is that? Slam book, yeah. In school, slam book was very popular. So whenever in slam book, in class 5, I used to write, what is your aim in life? I used to write, doctor plus business. I don't know why, because I was surrounded by doctors, so I thought one day I'll become a doctor. So I used to write doctor plus business. Then when I was around class 8, 9, I got a little more exposed to some more friends who are more into rock music. And I started listening to lots of rock music. I started playing the guitar. I started writing songs. Like my room was filled with all these long-haired rock stars. And I was listening to all kinds of rock music. I was listening to all these Bon Jovi, Scorpions, and Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and my t-shirt will have all skulls, and my jeans will have skulls. I'll be wearing skulls, rings. It was all, heavy metal stuff. And so when I was in class 8, 9, I think, in the slam book, I used to write rock star. But that doctor thing was also still there. So in my room, I used to have a drawing where half of the body is a rock star and half of the body is a doctor. I was going through that, conflict of identity, like what I want to become in life. that rock star and that doctor disappeared when I met a guy who was studying commerce, and he taught Manipur. And I was so influenced by him that I started commerce in class 11 and 12. And then I said, okay, then I'll become a chartered accountant. But someone told me chartered accountant is very tough. You have to be very good in mathematics, and I was very poor in mathematics. So I left that idea. I thought I'll do MBA. I'll do MBA. Then I started collecting lots of materials from magazines. What are the things you need to do MBA? How much money you need, and all that. And later I realized that I used to write lots of poetry in school days. I used to write songs, and I used to do some drawing, and all my friends used to praise me. Wow, you are very creative. Why you should go for chartered accountant or MBA? You should do something very creative. And I decided, no, I'll go for advertising. Then I started collecting all the ads in newspapers and magazines, and I started writing my own ads at home. Then in college, I met this one professor who was producer in NDTV, and we became so close because he was a big fan of Pabun Kanahlal. Pabun Kanahlal is one of the most respected theater personality in India and in the globe. And he was a big fan of Pabun Kanahlal, and whenever we meet, we always used to talk about Kanahlal. And though I've never heard of Kanahlal, he always used to talk about Kanahlal, and we became so close. I used to go to his house, have lunch with him, borrow his books. Then suddenly I realized that, no, my calling is somewhere. I think I should become a filmmaker. I should stop. I cannot become a doctor. I cannot become a rock star. I cannot do MBA. I cannot do CA. But I think I should become a filmmaker. So I decided I should become a filmmaker. Even though I was doing television production work, living some of the most luxurious life and hanging out with some of these big personalities. But still, I decided, no, I should go for television work. And I left everything to go through that struggle to become a filmmaker. So my intention was never to make documentary. He stays in Pali Hill, which is like the post colony in Bombay, where all the billionaires and all the big directors and actors and actresses, they all stay. And I met this guy. He said, okay, I know you are very talented. I want to produce a film for you. Then I shifted to Bombay again. I went back to Bombay again. After that first struggle in Bombay with that music CD and with the script, and where nothing worked out. And though I returned because I got some money from Europe because of that screenplay, I went back to Bombay again because this guy, rich guy, billionaire, wants to produce a film for me. And I started writing my script again. But since I'm this very artistic inside, this inner calling was there to do something very creative, very artistic. So I wrote a very artistic screenplay called A Pop Star. Pop Star is about this New York pop star, a pop star from New York, and a folk artist from Manipur and a folk artist from Rajasthan. They stayed together in a resort. And they are all three girls, and they don't speak each other's language. They don't understand each other's culture or whatever. But they try to connect through music. And pop star is also influenced by my growing up years. When I was growing up, I was so influenced by all these rock stars from the West, I thought I'll become a rock star. So I drew from that part of my life, and I said, okay, I'm going to make a film called Pop Star, where these two Indian folk singers, one very fair girl from Manipur, and one very fair girl folk singer from Manipur, and one very dark and dusky girl from Rajasthan, will meet this pop star from New York. And these Indian girls who are very simple, they would like to imitate this American pop star, because American pop star is so gaudy, so loud, he dressed so casually, he's so confident, that they're so enamored by this American pop star, like I was enamored by these rock stars of the West. Then I completed the script, then I got it registered in the Film Writers Association, then I gave him the script, and then he said, oh, okay, he said, he liked it, he found it very artistic, and one of his friends, who was also staying in Pali Hill, he also liked the script, and I said, okay, it's a good film, a good project, we'll do it. And okay, and he said, okay, then we'll give you some money. So, just before, okay, so when I landed in Delhi. One night I was traveling in an auto rickshaw around 1 o'clock and I was robbed by 3 men. I was carrying all my card. I don't know why that day I was carrying all my card, all my cards, all my identity cards, and I was carrying a lot of cash. And I was in the middle of the night. I was robbed by 3 men. I was traveling in an auto. They came inside the auto and they robbed me. And for 2 weeks, I was so much into huge depression. Because Bombay is so expensive, and you know every month you have to think about paying the rent. So I was in a big depression. I was knowing what to do. And after 2 or 3 weeks, this guy, this financier who is willing to produce my film, and who also wants to credit me as one of the producers in the film by giving me some percentage from the profit, you know, transfer some lakhs in my account. He said, "This is for your script." And I was like, okay, so that robbery was just, you know, preparing for this big amount coming into my life. And I was so excited again. But after that, after the script is done, after I got some money, then all this thing about production process started, whom to cast, and about the money involved, and which actors to choose, which actress to choose, and whom to get from New York, whom to get from Manipur, whom to get from Rajasthan. And all my friends said, you have to, if you don't have a star, no one is going to watch your film, no one is going to come to the theater to watch your film. You should have a star or a starlet. Then this financier's friend also said, your film is very artistic, it'll do internationally very well, it'll travel to film festivals, it might win award, but we don't know how it's going to work in India. No one is going to watch this kind of film in India, and all this blah, blah, blah. It went and on. Every day we used to have meeting, meeting, and all this discussion, production discussions, budget discussions, marketing discussions about which star to cast. And since they are interested in a low-budget film, and they said, no, we cannot star a big actor. It has to be an unknown artist because we don't have big budget. And some will say, okay, if you don't have a star, no one is going to watch a film. All this blah, blah, blah discussion went on. And I said, okay, I'm going back. And I came back. Then when I came back again, I realized that there are lots of things which I need to do about Manipur and the Northeast. So I started doing lots of projects from here, there. There was some funding coming here and there. I was traveling all over the Northeast, and I was getting invitations everywhere. Every month I was getting invitations here and there, all the time. So it went and on. Then I think I was not able to focus on my work again because all these invitations to speak, to screen, to to some festivals, to some music festivals, some seminar. Last month I was in Jamshedpur, where Tata Steel Company invited me. After that I went to Goa and I was in the jury for an international film festival. After that I was in Nagaland. I just came back from Nagaland yesterday. Then today I'm here. After a few days I'm going to Shillong and Nagaland again. There's so many things happening. So all this creative work is not happening. At the same time, you have to think about, from where will the money come? Then I realized that I was lucky that I had this the Times Group who's taking out this own work. The Times Group is a division of the Times of India Group, and they have this music division, they have the film division, and they also have the Times of India, the Economic Times, and lots of other newspapers and magazines. So what they do is, they not only distribute your work, your DVDs or your music, but they also make sure that your work gets visibility to the public. So whenever something comes out, they'll put big ads in the Times of India all over the country. So people will see my ads in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Kolkata, in Delhi, Bombay. And if you put an ad with Times of India, it's 16 lakhs per day. But if you work with the Times Group, they do it for free because you're working with them. So I had the backing of the Times Group, I think maybe because they know that, okay, I have won awards from abroad and from the President of India 2 times. So maybe they think that, okay, I'm good enough. So they distribute my work. Now it's available all over the country. You can buy it online. That's how I got some, that's how I managed to make some money here and there and some funding here and there. Quite often, I think a filmmaker has to struggle. Although now I also produce music, right? I'm also doing producing some music right now, which I want to put it globally. And recently, I signed the contract with Times Music, and they've agreed to put my music across the globe, and soon you'll get to hear Manipur folk tunes in all the mobile ringtones and hello tunes all over the country, which is, I think, another big achievement, I think, because so far Manipur folk music has been confined to Manipur only, and mostly in Imphal and Thoubal and Bishnupur. But soon it will be available globally, and soon you'll be able to put your favorite folk tunes as hello tune or ringtone in a mobile phone. Quite often, any creative person has to struggle between, like Papung Syam Sharma has also said, between expressing your idea, your story, your concept, and the money, and finding money to express it. And now everyone who invests their money, they want something back. It's not like something for nothing. If a businessman puts 1 lakh money in your account, in your artwork, they want something back. Either they want that 1 lakh back, or they want a profit. There is the conflict between. There's a conflict in the life of a creative artist. You have to balance between your creative work and the money involved in it, and of course the marketing part, where where it will be visible to the outside world, where people will get to buy it, or listen or see your film or listen to your music. So quite often, that is the dilemma that quite often a filmmaker faces. But once you get into filmmaking, or once you get into some kind of a activity, cultural activity, or music production, it becomes a kind of an addiction. Like it's like a drug addict or an alcoholic who finds it hard enough to stop drinking or to stop using drugs. It's very addictive. So after you make films, after you produce your music, you want to do more. You want to make more films. You want to produce more music. You want to share it with the outside world. But the main conflict here, of course, is the commercial part and the marketing part, which always comes into the way of the life of a creative artist. There are some projects which I get funding, and there are some projects which don't get funding, but you want to do it so much, so you spend your own money to do it. But quite often, it's not only about making the film; it's all marketing. Marketing it's also a big, it's also very expensive. Most of the films made in Hollywood, even in Bombay now, they spend 30% of their money on marketing your film. That means if you make a 100 crore film, 30 crore will go on marketing your film, on promoting your film. And right now, because Facebook is here, things has become quite easy. Now you open a Facebook page and you start promoting your film, or even you can pay little amount of money to Facebook, and they'll start promoting your work here and there. So with Facebook, it has become very easy. And there are so many groups. Like I met Dynamic Manipur through the Facebook group. Just 2 months back, I came to know about Dynamic Manipur. And today I'm here. They sent me an invitation. They said, give an inspiring speech. I don't know how inspiring I'm going to get, but I'm just sharing my stories. Of course, as I've said, in Manipur, till now, none of the media people has never taken an interview. Any of the organization in Manipur has never invited me to speak. Although I get invitations every month from across the countries to speak about whatever, music, films, do workshop, whatever. But in Manipur, you hardly get invitations to speak. None of the media people in Manipur has ever taken an interview on me. Though I haven't taken interviews so many times by the media in Delhi, in Bombay, in Chennai, in so many different places. So today when I was being interviewed, I said the media has a big role to play. He was asking me whether your speech is it going to inspire? Do you think whatever work Dynamic Manipur is doing, do you think whether it's going to inspire our young or youth? I said it's not. Dynamic Manipur is doing a great job, but I said our media has a more bigger role to play. Like when I was growing up, I was reading all these magazines and newspapers. It was filled with all these stories and articles about these rock stars and pop stars and all the actors of Bollywood and Hollywood. So I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be a rock star. But in Manipur, you hardly get a chance to read an interview of your artist, local artist, or local actor or actress, or a theater personality. I never knew about Ratan Thiam or Kanalhal when I was in Bombay. Only when I was in Delhi, I came to know about them. And when I said, I'm a Manipuri, everyone started talking, okay, you're a Manipuri, then you must be very artistic because Babun Ratan Thiam and Kanalal has, put that kind of image nationally, internationally, that, okay, Manipuri people are very creative, very artistic. So when I was looking for a job, when I was literally struggling, a lot of people used to talk to me very nicely just because I'm a Manipuri or I came from Manipur. Just because of the kind of image Babun Ratan Thiam or Kalala has put up in the national media or internationally. So I think it's not only about Dynamic Manipur, but I think our media has also a big role to play. Every week, if you splash very nice pictures of your artist, of your theater personality, of your actor, actress, and project them as icons, cultural icons, then we all will be inspired. We all would like to imitate. We all love to be like them. If I had that kind of inspiration when I was growing up, maybe in my slam book, I would have written that, okay, I wanted to be a theater director. I wanted to be an actor or filmmaker. But I was surrounded by all kinds of other things. I was surrounded by doctors, so I used to write, I want to become a doctor. I was surrounded by rock stars, so I said, okay, I want to become a rock star. But somehow, I don't know, because of that quest, that struggle to find your own self, your identity, I think has put me here. And I think I've just started because I'm still very young. I'm a little fat now, so I've become a little overweight because of all this traveling and eating, so I'm taking some herbal medicine now. This is not rum or whiskey. So soon I'll slim down more. I'm still young, so I have still lots of big dreams. I still want to make more films that talks about our society, about our culture, about our music. And before I die, at least I want to screen my film in every country of the world. Like Babun Ratan, if you go to Chorus Reporter in Samosang, you'll see that Babun Ratan has performed in every cities of the world. I want to be like him. I want to screen my film in every country, in every cities of the world. This is my dream. And for that, I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to go through that struggle, that pain, whatever. Even if I have to remain a single all my life, I want to go through that experience because filmmaking or any artistic production is very addictive, and at the same time, it also takes you, to so many places, so many dreamy places, so many places around the world which you would have hardly imagined. I came from a very humble family, a lower middle class family. I could never, have gone to a foreign country or maybe have stayed in a 5-star or 7-star hotel. But my film is doing that. My film is taking me around the world. It's putting me to all this, the best of lifestyle, luxury lifestyle, 5-star hotel, 7-star hotel, exposing me to all this lifestyle, exotic culture, new people, artistic people. All this filmmaking is that powerful. And at the same time, it's going to tell about your people, about your society. Like Babung Shyam said, you cannot take Orchid to America, but his film has taken the story of Orchid, or to London, to US, to Europe. So it is through films that we're going to tell stories of our people, of our struggles, of our problems, of our culture, of our music. And I think it's one of the most amazing things to be a filmmaker, though there's so much struggle to be made. And at the same time, there's struggle, at the same time, there's also that bliss, that happiness that any filmmaking or artistic work like music is bringing. You'll see more work from me. Maybe most of the time you'll see more very artistic work from me. I'm going to make more films, more feature films, and more musical documentaries in the coming years. And maybe I have also other big plans, which I'm which I'm trying to harness. And at the same time, I also realized that, I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a chartered accountant. I wanted to do MBA. I wanted to do advertising. But filmmaking is, providing all that. It exposes you to so many things, so all kinds of people, right from the poorest of the poor to the billionaires to, the dirtiest of places, the most cleanest and luxurious of places, all kinds of people. Being in films give you a chance to be in all, to experience all this. You can be a rock star, you can be a doctor, you can be an MBA, you can be a CA, you can be everything when you are in films. That's the beauty of filmmaking. And there is also the pain of filmmaking, of finding funds or money to express your idea or your concept. With these few words, I want to end here, and I would love to interact more with the younger crowd. And I know the Manipuri people are very quiet, very timid, and they hardly open up their mouth. So I've also bought gifts. Whoever asks questions will get a gift. So I brought some gifts, like they have also done here with the CCT. I've also brought some gifts. Whoever asks questions will get a gift from me.
Thank you, sir. That was a very interesting speech. So I would like to welcome some questions from the crowd.
I am Bimal here. I just want to ask one small question. See, there will be many guardians here.
Please put your mic near your mouth.
There are many guardians here. So I just want to know what is the message that you want to give to the guardians so that the guardians will not force their kids to join doctors or engineer. Because I myself, when I was a kid, I never wanted to be a banker, but now I'm a banker. So it was indirectly a force from my parents also to be like this. So as a filmmaker, what are the words that you want to give to the guardians so that they will never force them?
I think everyone must have seen the Bollywood film called Three Idiots, where the father wants the son to be an engineer, but he wants to do something else. I think right now, even in the big cities, my younger sister is a career counselor in Delhi. So he travels to all these big residential schools in the country, counseling all these young students, class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And she said she also met lots of Manipuri boys and girls in class 9, 10 in all these very expensive residential schools in North India. And she said, and the boys and the girls used to say, sister, I'm happy you are here. My father wants me to become a doctor, but I want to do something else. I want to do this, I want to do that. And what this counseling people does now is they do a kind of a psychoanalysis of your talent, of your aspirations, of your strong points and your weak points, and help you realize what you want in life. What if you suppose they help you find your way in life. You don't have to go through a kind of a struggle that I've gone through, you know, hitting every boost, or you know, that trial and error process is not there. This career counselor has made things very easy. I think all parents in the big cities now, it's becoming very popular now, this career counseling, where they take their children to the career counselor and, you know, do counseling of what kind of work will be suitable for my son or daughter. I think Manipur people also should start doing that, so that they also find their way. Because if I had been a doctor, maybe I would have been speaking here today, or maybe I would have been traveling to all these exotic places around the world, or maybe I would have been getting all the invitations that I'm getting every month to speak, you know, in different parts of the country. Maybe if I had been a doctor, maybe I wouldn't have got that opportunity. Maybe since I made a struggle to go through that, I think today I'm here. And a lot of my friends, you know, they are television producers. They are earning, you know, 90,000, 1 lakh, you know, 1,50,000 in TV channels. In my classmates. And they said, Doren, we are earning our life is very shikot, but what you are doing, the kind of, you know, respect, recognition, the kind of travel you are doing, we never get a chance. So we are really jealous of you. That's what they told me.
Thank you. May I have the next question, please?
Hi, Doren. My question is, what you have as a gift for me now? Just kidding. Anyway, my name is James, and we have known each other for quite some time now. My question is this. Number one, when you feel in your life that there was a creative calling, Second, when you realize that creativity or the creative field is your part of, your life. The third is.
Please ask one question at a time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and I'll answer that.
Okay. The first question is when you realized that there was a creative calling in your life.
See, I think it was kind of a pain, a struggle that a mother goes through when he's giving birth to a baby. There's so much pain and struggle. The mother cries, she shouts, and she screams. When the birth is taking place and finally when the child is born, the mother smiles. He's happy because finally he's getting the chance to see his son or daughter. I think I have gone through that kind of that pain in my life. Whether it came from some crush or infatuation, or whether it came because I was not getting what I want, whether that my dream project was not happening, or whether the money was not there, or whatever, I was not getting support from my uncles or aunties who says that you should look for a government job, or you should try for civil service since you are very studious. I ignored all that. I was ready to go through that pain. It has been very painful. I have cried so many times, No one will know that, only I know that. Today I'm telling all this to you. I have cried, literally, just to achieve all that. And I'm still going through that pain because, it's never ending process. It's not getting award from the President of India. There's more to, more to life, more to creativity, more to filmmaking or music production. There's more to life. Who are in the artistic world, they should be willing to go through that pain. Only when they are willing to go through that pain, then all this bliss comes.
Okay, and now the second question is this. You understand going through that pain that you have a creative calling and you went through that. Now, there might be other fields where you can express yourself besides filmmaking, but why particularly filmmaking? And if not filmmaking, then how would you have expressed yourself in another creative way?
Well, as I said, in college I did theater, I did lots of dancing, singing, anchoring. And right now I do not make only films. I do photography. I make lots of money from doing photography. You cannot survive with filmmaking. I make lots of money from doing photography. And I also write articles. I write screenplays. And sometimes, and sometimes I get a chance to talk to people, to express myself. Like today I'm getting a chance to tell my story, which is also another form of expression, because filmmaking it's also about storytelling. And today I'm telling my story. It's also another kind of expressing myself. It might not be film, it might not be writing an article. You cannot make film for every subject, or you cannot, sometimes you want to say something, you don't have to make a film. You can write an article, you can write a novel, or you can do a painting, or you can do a photography. You have to find the right medium to express your idea. That's why I do so many things. I do photography, I do cinematography, I write screenplays, I write articles, I make films. And I'm also producing music now. After my speech, Manka is going to perform. I'm producing her debut album called Sing the Sapi. And I've recently signed a contract with Times Music, which will put our folk music in different parts of the globe. This also makes me a lot of creative satisfaction, because when I was growing up, I used to hear all these songs in Lai Harawa festivals, and it still used to haunt me. So this is another way of expressing myself, that inner calling, that haunting, that feeling that I'm trying to express. And with this music, now with this music album, now we are going to, it's kind of a marketing strategy for Manka also. With this music CD and the music album and all this, we are going to make sure that she starts performing in all the international music festivals around the world. Right now, something is happening in Chennai. I was invited, and I said, "Is your music ready?" I said, "They are also willing to, promote my artist." But I said, "No, I have some work here, and our music is not ready. It will be ready by January." So I think, it's a blending of so many things. It's business, it's art, it's so many things. So expression can be, in different forms, as long as, it satisfies in your creative spirit. And at the same time, you have to blend that, that business part, that marketing part, that distribution part. It's.
I am Basanta. I am also close friend of Mr. Doren. I have a little.
Why all my friends are asking me questions? Why not the other people?
No, in fact, it's very important to share with the audience. I think shyness may have benefit in some occasion. I would like to share Doren's shyness really worked when we were traveling to More. Three of us were there. One of me, Doren, and one guy from Goa. His name is Sudhit Chakrabarti, who wrote a film called.
No. He write books. He write all these big books which win international awards.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big writer. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote a book on Manipur called Highway 39. So going to More, it is mandatory to pass security procedure. So we are stopped at the checkpoint. Doren was sitting at the front of our vehicle, and one of the security personnel processed to produce our identity card. Then Doren was sitting quite quietly, and he had not even a time to turn his face towards the security personnel. And I still remember the personnel, he was saying that in Hindi, what kind of person this was. Then without any security procedure, we were able to pass the gate because of his shyness. That's the benefit out of shyness. In fact, our journey to More really covered two pages in that particular book. Doren, I have a little question. In fact, I would like to put this question in Manipuri because I'm not in a position to make about what beauty Pajaba with any other language. So I know you are crazy with beauty as well. Pajaba, I was in a saying the Pajaba, Mipam Hunga Yadana Pajabasi. Sigi Pajaba singer say, Nanga Nupi Mother Kamani Ying.
I thought people will ask questions about filmmaking or music production or television work, but it has some very abstract questions. No, I think we all are making a journey, and we all are in the quest for something. We are if we are hungry, we want to be filled. If we are ugly, we want to be beautiful. If we are failing, we want to be successful. So the aura of the whole universe, the whole energy is moving towards something very positive. I believe every person has the positive energy and negative energy. When the positive energy is more in a person, he's called a good person. When the negative energy is more in a person, he's called bad. But I think even I have so many negative energies and positive energies in me. So when you're talking about beauty, I think it's very abstract, and it depends from people to people. Like in Bombay, a slim woman is considered beautiful, while in South India, a plump woman is considered beautiful. While in India, fair and lovely sells very well because everyone wants to look fair. But in Europe, everyone wants to look tan. It shows that you are rich enough to tan your skin or go to the beach. People want to have what they don't have. So, and as beauty is also something very abstract. It differs from people to people and from places to places. So I leave it to you to find your own concept of beauty.
Myself, Namika, you have said that you are working many things are coming up, and you have said that about your music production of Mangkat. So what are the projects you're working right now besides this music production? We'd like to know.
Creativity is something that you plan it today and you execute it tomorrow. It's something that it's a kind of a process. Like everyone must have seen the film called Avatar. And it's one of them. It made I think it's one of the most successful film in the world, And the director took 15 years, to develop that film, to write the script, make his own camera, or develop all the characters. It took 15 years. That's why it became so famous. I have done so many projects. The films which took me, a long period of time, which I put lots of energy and passion. It traveled to, a lot of festivals, gave me recognition. But the films, the project which I didn't put maybe a lot of passion, didn't do well. It's lying just in my cupboard. So I have a lot of projects in development which are 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, And I'm also tying up with lots of people, which I won't say now because unless nothing is official, and I think it's being recorded or something. So I won't say it. But once it becomes official, once we sign the agreement, then I can speak out. But a lot of things are happening, and I'm always moving, traveling. I'm not used to sitting in one place. I'm that kind of person who feels happy when I'm doing something. I cannot sit quietly in one place. If I'm sitting in one place, I have to read something or I have to write something. I cannot just sit quietly. So, but soon I think you'll be able to hear of them very soon. And I think if you are in Facebook, you can also get connected in Facebook, which I, from time to time, I keep on updating about the kind of work I'm doing, though I'm not very active, because sometimes I realize Facebook, it's very time wasting, because lots of people, they put lots of crazy things, and it's a complete time waste. But I prefer putting something very significant with positive things about my life or about my work. But I can assure that I'll never take rest until I do something for myself, and for my culture, for my identity. And when I say about my cultural identity, I'm not talking about the Meitei, but about my friends in the hills, the tribal people. So everyone will be involved in all my work.
Thank you, Oinam Doren. Aina pasi pungto hok dragadi unnoticed in the Sakradraina, I believe. Pagi deliberation, I have picked up a few things. The power of attraction, no power of attraction, have a mark. They get positive and negative thoughts. Highlight those again. Maybe I'm reading the same book what he is reading. Masaru Emoto, October he's a scientist, a Japanese scientist. He experimented in the same room from the same source of water. Freeze the past frozen with the thought of Hitler, I'll kill you, brutality, bloodshed, everything. She's the meditator. And the crystal is taken under the microscope, the digital photograph is taken. In the same room, with the same source of water, another kind of frozen topic. Other than that, he was thinking about compassion, Gautam Buddha, meditator. To his surprise, crystal and his shape size, molecular level, like crystal in the slide a couple of them, and is broken. Amana Sagi Gautam Buddha thought Kalaga, after was Pazaveli, the Sagi bloodshed, the threat, killings that are shapes both that. Our state of mind has got the effect on the water outside the body. Simba mana pasana high red. Our body is 80% water. Our own thought has got the effect in our own body. Thought exercise, thought management. Life is the journey for thought management. Miss Lin Gisuaina, as the thoughts, Amazona manage story. 30,000 thoughts are coming to our mind every day. 99% say wasteful thought. I dustbin the other we should not make our head the dustbin. 1% they say even 300. 300 is also kind of thoughts say yellow, green, blue. That means we need to be conscious of our consciousness, and we can choose the thought. By choosing the thought, we can change the life. By changing the thought, we can, the attitude is changed. When the attitude is changed, the action will be changed. The action is changed, the habit will be changed. Habit will form the personality, and the personality will change the destiny. Adubakni aina precise tawning is aduna a positive thought say it is our choice with our consent only. There are plenty of thoughts. It is your choice. Thank you very much.
I want to add a little thing here. I'll just go back to my school days when I was trying to talk to this girl I like. I was so shy and timid. So what I did was, I used to carry this card, small card, and I used to write, okay, I can do everything if I believe in myself, and I used to carry it in my pocket, just to train my mind, so that just to put my mind in a very positive way, so that confidence will come. Though I could never talk to that girl. Until now, I haven't talked to her. And I realize all girls, they look beautiful when they are in their teens, 17, 18, 20, 21, but around when they reach 30, they start looking like pumpkin and tomato. So I realized when I start seeing all the girls whom I used to have infatuation and crushes, when I see them now, and I used to tell myself, oh, I have been so stupid to, have a crush on this girl or on this on this women. So I think, so it works. You carry a card, small card, and whatever thought you want to have in your mind, you just write it down and put it in your pocket. So it'll keep you reminding what kind of thought process you have. So it works.
Can I have one last question? Okay, last question.
I brought 10 gifts. I think so far I got only about 3-4 questions.
Perhaps I'll get one. It's interesting to listen to you and also to listen to the fact that you have suffered through so many possibilities in life and ended up as a filmmaker. My question is very precise. I just wanted to know whether creativity is inborn thing or can it be cultivated? I just wanted your opinion on that. Is that inherent or can that be cultivated? And also in addition to that, I just wanted to ask, what are the traits in you, what are the personality in you that qualifies you to be a filmmaker? Because unless, even if, everyone wants to be a famous filmmaker, I don't think, even if people are obsessed about it and dedicated about it, I don't think, they will do well. Quality is something which, is very different. So what is it in you that you have not shared with us today? I was trying to really listen to you to hear that part. Yeah.
I think it's not about being a filmmaker or it's not about being a doctor or a rock star or a chartered accountant. It's about giving 100%, giving your best in whatever you are doing. Like Sir Dr. Pallen is giving his best in his profession, so he's well known. He has won so many awards. The first time I met him, he was in Kolkata to receive some award. He might have forgotten me. So you should. It's not about being a filmmaker or being a chartered accountant or MBA. It's about giving your best in whatever you are doing. Just listening to that inner call, that search for that quest for your identity, your identity. It's a kind of a struggle to find that identity, but it's all about listening to your heart and just telling yourself that okay, I'm willing to put everything to be there, to reach that place. It's not that everyone should become a doctor or a filmmaker or an actor. Everyone should find their own path. Not everyone will have creative talent. I might be very creative, but when it comes to business, I'm not very good. So I'm working with some other business people to take care of the marketing or distribution. So it's all about finding that that inner call and trying to shine in that path, which is your innermost calling, and it's kind of a struggle. You have to walk through it. Like as I said, when I want to do MBA, I was doing research work. What are the possibilities or what things you need to become to do MBA or to go for business management. When I wanted to be, suddenly after maybe a few years I wanted to go for advertising. Then I started reading books about advertising. I used to subscribe a book magazine, very expensive magazine called Advertising and Marketing. Just finding what are the things you need, what are the requirements, or whether you are made for it. And as I said, this counseling, career counseling helps you a lot to find that possibility, what you can do in life.
Thank you, sir. Now may I call upon Mr. Devdutt Sharma to hand over our humble token of love to our speaker today. Mr. Devdutt Sharma. Okay, seems like Mr. Devdutt Sharma is not in the room. May I call upon Dr. Pauline to please hand over our token of love?
Before I leave the stage, I just want to take this opportunity to pitch about my next music CD with Manka. I did something called, since music industry is totally dead, none of the musicians, none of the artists, they make money from selling music CDs or selling music. Now everything is shared through your phone, through your computer, it's all pirated. So I did something, and it's a very expensive business, so I did something called crowdfunding, where I invite people who are interested in folk music or who admire Manka or who are interested in my work, to contribute. And I don't take it for free. In return, I give them the CDs and DVDs, and it's being designed by two or three very talented people in Nagaland. They are trained in the National Institute of Design and very artistic, creative people. They are designing my CD and DVD. It comes kind of a memento of our folk music. So if anybody is interested to pre-order our CD and DVD, then you can do it today. And I'll deliver the CD and DVD by January first week. But if anybody is interested, you can pre-order your CDs and DVDs. A lot of people has contributed money. People who contribute more money gets, I put their name in the CD and DVD just to thank them. People who doesn't want to contribute a lot can order just a CD and DVD, and it's just 500 rupees. If you give 500 rupees, you get a CD and a DVD, very nicely packed, well designed, and you can keep it as a memento also in your house. And if you give more, then I also give credit your name in the CD cover. Like, we thank this person for contributing for our folk album. So whoever's interested, you can pre-order your CD and DVD now, and whoever asks me questions can collect the gifts from me outside. Thank you so much.
Thank you.